Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's class we are going to learn how to make a corset with a center yoke. You can see what we have on our thumbnail. So the corset that I'm going to make is an off-shoulder corset. So I'm not going to cut this corset. I want the off-shoulder to start around 6, but I will make it 5.5 because I will use the remaining ½ inch to sew the corset with the lining. So this is our 5.5, right? So this 5.5 will serve as our chest line. So from there I will mark my bust point. The bust point I'm using for this corset is 10.5. the under bust is 13.5. then the half length will be 17. I want to use 17, and I'll add 2 inches seam allowance at the waistline. Her nipple to nipple is 4. Okay, let me just make this corset 40 so that it will be relatable to a lot of people. So the bust is 4, the nipple to nipple is 8 divided by 2, that is 4. So I'll go ahead and mark my 4 inches. So this 4 inches will serve as the dart line, and I'll extend the 4 inches to the chest line. So I'll go ahead and extend it. So let me label this so that it will be clear. Here is the bust point, here is the neckline or the chest line. Let's just label it as the chest line for now. Here is the neckline, here is the bust point, here is the under bust, here is the half length, and we have our allowance. So I have done that right now. So at the under bust, I will go in by 1.5 here. This is for the breast curve. Then I'll come in by 1.5 as well here. So I'll go ahead and connect it to my bust point. I'll make a curve to meet my bust point. Sorry. So I'll also go ahead and connect this side. So from there I'll go down. I'll make a straight line down. This 1.5 inch I marked on both sides, we go down. So we are used to my method of, if you have been following me, you're supposed to know my method of cutting a corset for now. So the only difference right now is that I want to make this corset a 3-piece corset. So if you want to make it a 2-piece corset, you can go ahead and make it a 2-piece corset. So 3-piece corset means that I'll have 1 here and then the remaining 2. So right now at this chest line, I'll come down, like from here I'll come down by like 1 inch or 1.5 in order to get my sweetheart's neckline. So I want it to have a sweetheart neckline. So here is my 1.5. So I'll go ahead and connect my sweetheart neckline. So let's just leave it like this for now. So you know that for my corsets, I normally come in by, at the bust point, I normally come in by ½ inch. Then at the chest line, I'll come in by ½ inch. But for this particular one, I'll go in by 1 inch. I'll go in by 1 inch and then 1 inch here. So I'll connect the 2 of them like this. I'll connect the 2 of them like this before making the rest of the curve. So this one, I'll curve this one to meet the bust points. So on a normal day, I'll come in by ½ inch here. If you have been following me, I'll come in by ½ inch here and ½ inch here. But because of the type of corset that we are making, it will have a yoke. So I want that yoke to be 2 inches wide. So that was why I came in by 1 inch here. Remember that this thing is on fold. So right here, I'll measure the distance between my bust point and my under bust, and that is 3 inches. So I will go ahead and add 1 inch to that 3 inches, and that is 4 inches, right? So I will extend this side by 4 inches. So this is our 4. So I'll go ahead and make our curve right here from here to that point where you measured our 4 inches, and you tilt your curve to be like this, to be in a straight form. Then you go ahead and connect it to the chest line. So this is what we have for now. So I told you guys that I want to do a 3-piece corset. On a normal day, I'll subtract 1 inch here and 1 inch here, but I will not do that. So here, right here, this is the bust point. I will add a dart here. I will add a 1 inch dart here. Then right here, I'll come up by 1 inch as well. So this is how you're going to connect it. From there, from this place where you came up by 1 inch, you connect it to your bust point. Before, I will add this 1 inch around here, but this time around I added it at the side. You connect it to the bust point, and you also connect this 1 inch to the bust point as well. So you have the upper piece to look this way, to be a kind of curving. So this is the number 1, this is the number 2, and this is the number 3. Because I'll cut off this area, this area that I marked for 1 inch on the sides, and I'll also cut off this area. So these areas right now that I'll cut out are my darts. So this is the under dart, and this is the side darts. I said I want to make it a 3-piece corset. So I am done right now. I'll go ahead and mark my chest line. You know, if you're sewing an off shoulder, you measure the distance between your two chests, between your chest where you want the sleeve to start from. So mine, I will measure 12 for now. I want mine to start at 12. So this is 6, right? So for now, I'll add extra 1 inch. After joining everything, I can now go ahead and trim. So this is my chest line for now. So remember, your armhole line should stop at 2 inches above your bust point. So this is my bust point, right? I'll come up by 2 inches. So right here, this place right now is our armhole line. So I would connect this thing. You know, this is an off shoulder. I'll connect the chest line to the armhole line. It will look like this for now until I have taken my bust measurement. So if you want, you can go ahead and curve your neckline like this. You can go ahead and curve it so that it will join the armhole line. So this is how it looks. Let me cut it off for now. So this is our first corset piece, this is second, this is the third. So if you want your corset, the neckline to come down more, it will not be, you know, this one started at 5 and 6 inches. So if you want it to start at 7, you can do it as well. So right now, I'll go ahead and measure my bust. So the bust measurement, I told you guys that it will be 40. So 40 divided by 4, this is on fold. 40 divided by 4 is 10. I'll mark 10. This is 10 plus 2 inches seam allowance to end here. So at the waistline, the waist is 30. The waist is 30, but I want to snatch it a bit, so I'll make it 28. So 28 divided by 4 is 7, right? Then I'll go ahead and add back these darts that I'll take out. I'll add my dart allowance. This is 1.5. This is 1.5. I'll add, that is 3 inches. I'll add it, that is 10. This is 10 plus 2 inches seam allowance. This is 12. So I'll take that 12 down. So here is the main measurement. This is the main measurement. And this is the allowance. So that is all for now. So for I'll go ahead and cut off my dart. here is the center and here is the side. I'll label it as C and S. So we are done right now. So remember, the yoke has like it came in this way, and at the under bust it will go in by like 2 inches, and then it will come down, or you can make it 1.5, like it will connect from here downward. That is for the yoke, but I don't want to confuse you guys. I'll cut it on my fabric first before trimming out that net part. I will join everything, then after joining I can now trim out the yoke part, the net part. So for now I'll cut the back part. The back part will be a normal off shoulder bustage. I am done cutting out all the pieces. So here is the side. This is my main fabric and the green one is my line. Please do not mind the choice my choice of fabric. So here is the center. I cut out the center on fold. You can see the pattern here. So the fabric and the lining is on fold. So here is the number 3. All these places that I marked this arrow indicates the down parts. Remember, I added 1/2 inch seam allowance around all these areas that I would join. The back cup, I added 1/2 inch. So here is number 2. This is number 2. And the arrow facing down is the down part. Then this is the number 1. I did not add any seam allowance at the upper part because I have already added it when I was cutting the neckline. So I'll go ahead and pick them 1 and join. So please remember to add your hard gum, your stay, your interface when cutting. So here is the back parts. I have cut out the main fabric, so I'll go ahead and cut the lining as well. We'll pin it down and then you go ahead and cut the lining. So here is the bra cup that I'll be using. This is size 40. This is size 38, but it is big 38. So here is I will use this one to pipe the bra cup. Here I will insert my underwire. So I have folded it into 2. It is about, this is 1 inch. So it was 2 inches, so I folded it into 2 and iron. So right now it is on fold. You fold it and iron it to be very flat. This is what you are going to use to pipe the bra cup. So for now I will not cut out the net. After joining everything, I'll go ahead and cut out the net. So we'll go over to our sewing machine and then start joining. So I'll start by adding my darts to the back part. So I'll add my darts. You know the normal way we add darts. So I'll add my darts and I'll turn the neckline. So I'll keep that aside. So here is the front part, right? Here is the front part. This is the main fabric. The white one is the main fabric. So here is the main fabric, and I'll pick this side as well. So here is the main fabric for this side. I'll go ahead and join this one here and then join the other one here. So I am done joining and this is what it looks like. So I'll go ahead and open up all this allowance and iron. I'll open them up and iron. So here is for the lining as well. I have joined, so I'll go ahead and open the allowance and iron. So over to our bra cup. Like I always tell you guys, place your pattern on your fabric so that you'll be picking one by one. So I'll remove the pins, and first of all I'll join the 2 and 3. This is how I'll do it. You pick the 2, this is 2, you pick the 3, this is 3, so you place them this way and iron and join, sorry. You use 1/2 inch to join. Then I'll go ahead and join this one as well. So after joining the 2 and 3, I will now join the number 1 on top. You repeat the same thing for the lining later. So this is number 1. This is number 1, this is 2 and 3. I have joined 2 and 3. So this is the down part of the number 1. So I'll go ahead and place it this way. I'll place it here and join. You use half an inch join. You join it round. So I have joined this one. If you reach here, please open this allowance. So I have joined it, and this is what we have. The shape of our bra cup is out. So if you have any excess, normally you will have this excess, but let it just be very, very small. So I am done joining, and I'll go ahead and trim off the excess. Like I said, it is very minimal. So this is what it looks like. So I'll insert my bra cup here. So I'll go ahead and join the number 1 for the other side. Then after joining it, I'll go ahead and iron before inserting my bra cup. So here it will. I'll go ahead and join. It's half an inch. So if you are sewing, please ensure that this place is open. So I'll go ahead and join the middle. So remember to notch. You will notch everything. You will notch all these curves so that when you iron them, they will relax. So you can see this one, it is very fine. This one is the part. So I am done right now. I'll go ahead and repeat the same thing on my lining. So I am done ironing. This is the back part. This is the back part. I have added my darts and I have ironed. So I'll go ahead and close my zipper allowance. My zipper allowance is just 1 inch. I will use a loose stitch and close it. That is how I normally do mine. I'll close it before taking my measurement. So this is the back. This is the back part. So I'll go ahead and open here and iron it flat. So here is my bra cup. Sorry, it is dirty. Here's the bra cup. So I'll go ahead and insert my cup. So before I do that, I will shape this cup. I told you guys that I like picking my darts on my cup to make it deeper. So I will use a loose stitch as well and add a dart to this. Then I will do the same thing here. I want the cup to be deeper. So I am done. I'm done with this. So if I open it up, this is what I will have. It is deeper now, so I'll go ahead and fix it here. I'll use my pin to hold it down for now. So this is it. I'll use my pin and hold them down. So I am done pinning down my bra cup to the fabric, and this is what it looks like. So the lining for the bra cup is ready as well. Okay, this one is for this side, and this one is for this side. So they're okay for now, so I'll go ahead and keep them aside. So over to the next part. So I'll go ahead and trim out the shape of the net that I want. You know, this place has a skin illusion net. So at the underbust side, I will come in this way and down. So first of all, I'll fold it. I'll folded it. So this is the center. So using my pen, I'll go ahead and come in by 1.5 inch or 2 inches, depending on how wide you want this to be. This is at the underbust. From here to here, from this place to this place, to have net. So from the underbust, I'll come in this way. Let me shift here. I'll come in this way. If you want, you can make it to be like, if you want, you can make it to be straight down, but I want it to be a bit slanted. I don't know if you are seeing this. I want it to be slanted a bit. So you can see how I slanted it. So I'll cut out here now. I'll cut out this now. It will be easier this way. At least you have joint, so it will be easier for you to indicate. So I'll go in and cut this out. I will slant it as it is going down to be shifting inside. So here is the shape right now. So this is our new side. You can see it did not cross the dart line. It did not cross the dart line. So here I will go ahead and cut out this one on a skin net. So after cutting it out, I will place it here. This one is a kind of wide. So but if you want, you can reduce it more. So I'll go ahead and cut this out on a skin net, this particular one. Then I'll come back and join it here. So after doing that, I will also trace out that part on my lining. This is my lining, right? I'll place my fabric here and I will trace out that part, because a skin net will be here. A lining is not needed. So I'll go ahead and trace it out. So I'll cut out here and here. So the center part is now open. The only thing that will hold two of them together is the skin net. So I'll go ahead and cut it out on my skin net, then I'll show you guys. So this is the skin net that I'll be using. I'll go ahead and fold. I'll fold it this way. So I'll go ahead and place this on it. It will be double. So I'll place this on it and so it will be double. I'll go ahead and cut it out, and when I am cutting, I will add 1/2 inch seam allowance around this side, that place that I cut it out from. I will add 1/2 inch here and 1/2 inch there. So I have cut it out, and you can see I have 1/2 inch seam allowance here and 1/2 inch here. So I'll go ahead and turn the neckline. I'll go ahead and turn the neckline. Then I will notch. After notching, I will trim down the allowance. So I have trimmed it down, and I'll go ahead and turn it over. Then I will iron. I'll iron, and after ironing, you will hold this place down. So I'll go ahead and run a stitch around it. So I am done running a stitch on both sides. Then I'll go ahead and join the main fabric. I will join it back to where I cut it out from. So I'll use 1/2 inch to join them. Okay. 1/2 inch is small. Just use very small allowance to join it. So I have joined this side. As you can see, it is taking shape. I'll go ahead and join the other one. This is the other side. I'll join the other side. So it depends on how wide you want that illusion to be. I'll go ahead and join. So right now we have replaced that part with a skin net. You can see how it looks. So right now I will go ahead. This is how it looks. This is the inside. I've replaced this part with a skin net. So right now, I'll go ahead and turn this side with the lining. Okay, let me turn this side first. I'll turn this side with the lining. I'll close this area with the lining. So, top stitch. If you close, you will top stitch. And you can see I have closed this side. So I have closed this side. I'll go ahead and close this side as well. I'll close the side parts. So I have turned this side. You can see, you cannot see the allowance. You cannot see the skin net here. I've turned it and I have run a stitch around here. So this is where I will insert my bra cup. I'll go ahead and turn this side as well. I'll go ahead and hide this side. So I will I'll place the lining on it and join. I'll repeat the same thing that I did to the other side. So I am done turning I'm done turning everything. So right now I'll go ahead and turn this side. I'll turn it from the inside, this armhole part. So if you want, you can leave this armhole part because you will still place a fabric that will serve as the shoulder here. You place the fabric here. So I'll go ahead and iron this and come back and show you guys. So I am done ironing and this is what we have. This is the inside. So I will go ahead and next thing is to cover this bra cup. This bra cup I will sew it separately. Like I'll cover it separately. Over the down part. So I am done turning and I have ironed the upper part. So I'll go ahead and place it here. This is for this side and this is for the other side. So this is how I'm going to join this. Instead of sewing inside, I will sew it to be facing outside in order to achieve a very neat finishing. So this is the center. I'll place it here and then I'll join it to face outside. am done joining this one as well. So the bra cups are set. So I'll go ahead and cover this sewing allowance that is showing here. This one, I'll go ahead and cover them. Then insert my underwire if you want to insert underwire. So right now I'll make use of this. This is what I'll make use of. First of all, I'll sew it down. I'll sew it right here. So I am done turning them. I'll go ahead and join the front and the back. So this is the finished look. So my own is a kind of wider and it is not that neat, but if you use an Ankara fabric or a thicker fabric to come out nice. So I hope this is a good trial. So feel free to try. If you have a bias strip, you can use a bias strip for here. It will be smoother than this. So see you in my next class. Bye for now.